Master.
Clepali suo me kanyo ake Sktv benyo. Sema cheni tina ke asema jamu. Enji sano muni emu aye yo. Enji lofa muni emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandmaster.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get now ya to money. That's the TV, and I don't get it now. Toss you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandmaster.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and outside of the globe. Qualified people who willing to sell. The flesh, the time, and the efforts are rare. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise my best. To work with my life with us, yeah. From Nimba to Nimba to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, to San Tobacco, from Maryland, Punk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, Sktv, it is the best in Liberia. Sktv, it is the best in Africa. And Sktv, it is the best around the world. What going? Yeah, let me see. Even though not money, kind of yeah, we're trying to. Okay, folks. Yes. But it's good. It's good. It's good. Good. So let's share the show. Those of you who just joining us, indeed, let's share the show. Today is Thursday. Oh, okay. No, Thursday or Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. So some of you even joining me already. Some of you who don't even, follow the days. And you just follow me already. You say, yeah, today. No, today is Wednesday. It's Lily's night, for the matter of fact. And today, the Lone Star of Liberia. The Lone Star of Liberia also, yeah, let me see how far they've gone. The Lone Star of Liberia. But again, folks, please, let's share the show. Today is Wednesday, having to be the 19th. Oh, what going on? The moon is really running with speed. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to the Sktv show, the Thursday edition, the Sktv show. What's the time like 10 minutes past 6. That's the time check from what I said on broadcast. Sorry that we come on little bit in our time, but again, yes, sometimes when you are between some engagements, especially when you have a lot of people on there. Yeah, let me see first. Let me see how best. Mona, you got to show your face. You got to stop man. Why, Mona, you got to show your face? So Mona is setting up. By the time Mona show her face, then I know that indeed Mona is set and ready to go. So Mona is setting up behind the scene. And trust me, we will bring all of our team of panelists. They will join us here this evening. I know it's afternoon time. Better stay is in the morning time from your end. But for us here in Liberia, is evening time. So we are in the evening. Yes, here in Liberia. I don't know about you, but I know it's either in the morning, or in the afternoon, or man. Easy. That's the life. They also make you get you understand some things. But let me see what Mona is said. Mona Lukri.
Neighbor, you know I love camera, but we lost signal. You say network problem.
Yeah, when I get issue with it.
Yeah, to be serious,
There's somebody not come out with camera, we will hold you up and y'all pay fine. Let me be frank.
no,
This is a
seriously,
show,
man. You can't
this is
hold
a show
me.
that we're doing
You
and
know,
people
I
have
the
to listen.
network, no
So when you
signal, the network.
so when I have my
You
part
know,
of
I love
Facebook now,
camera.
then we will see who now. Yeah,
You know,
man.
I
I
love
mean,
camera. You know, I say I
mm,
love camera.
this
You know,
show
I
is
want
for
people to
camera.
see
Why
me
it's for
every day.
TV. Now why people say TV.
I want people to see me every
You
day, you
know,
know, but
uh,
no signal, my member.
okay, though. We gotta be
Yeah,
seeing
that
some
what
of the
happened
things
here.
that you're doing there. Some on the even when somebody come face say we gotta see all these things. I think like we
Oh,
don't
who can visit me now? Who can visit me in the studio? And he ready again, you know, I
oh,
left camera. Well,
oh,
man,
God.
there's no signal, you know, weather.
I
Yeah,
know. So, people,
yeah,
let's
that
share the
was
show. Muna already here with us. Mustafa Balo, watching from John Bofok Village. Okay. Wala name. You're probably even a name yourself. You can be the Mustafa. You say what? Bofok? Yeah. Well, anyway, that's good. I know that one of the beautiful city. My brother John, sorry, Mustafa Balo following us from. And Elizabeth Bowen also say hi, SKTV family. That's up to you, man, Elizabeth. Thank you for all you do for SKTV. You know, the Bowen name, I keep asking you as to whether you are related to our former colleague, Olivia Bowen. You know, I keep asking, but anyway, maybe, yeah, maybe you two of you, or maybe you two are related. So for and Sivet Sifas also say hi, SKTV family watching from Atlanta. Good, Siliki Toure. I know Siliki. How can you get the Burkina Faso president last name? Is that a last name? Yeah, Toure, right? Or Toure or anyway, that's good. I like your last name on a very serious note because that last name, he's the grandson of our president, President Joseph Yimambwaka. You know, when the grandson is improving in life, then you got to heal the grandson. So, James David, good evening also to you. Sheikh Sharif, I don't know if what you representing Truth FM Nima or wait do let me check. But Muna go ahead, man. There has Redru.
it's weather is cool. Just the weather. And weather is acting off yet. Weather is not too okay, but this weather is cool. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so Sharif, Sheikh Sharif, I think from Truth FM Nima. Job uh set your camera well or check, just set the camera up so that yeah, so that we can see you very clear. Okay, so yeah, Alexander Boniface, Emmanuel Hayes, my brother, we got to see Muna face. Let me tell you, Alexander, that other campaign you want to run here, you can't hold because Muna is the only female here, and by all of the pin given to her by right, Muna's will be showing your face all of the time because it's possible. There's other Boniface that true Muna who may likely our part may ball, who knows? Yeah, you want to play politics. So, my young man.
And
But
no
more,
signal. You know, feeling bad. The camera no lost signal. You got the weather
yeah,
feeling bad. Though. You know, the camera.
thank God,
Yeah.
Mark, yeah, and more hearing it. And I'm me saying Alexander Boniface. Mark, good evening, my
But
brother.
what's going on? Man, you always lost in signal these few days. What's going on?
Now the camera, you know, the weather is not true. Okay, the camera, yeah, lost signal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when the weather is bad, you can only do audio. You don't do video.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
That's
the
what
only.
happened. Yeah, that's what
But
happened.
what's up, guys?
Well,
What's
my
going
brother,
on?
You know, I let my face. You know, I
for
let
me,
my
yeah,
to see this guy. And you know, to see this thing at this guy.
to
The
admit that,
Senegalese
and
game.
Yeah.
Mark, to admit that, we're not making it this time. We're not getting, but we're not got to stop. That's a true catfish or crabfish. We're gonna fish and drink water. Yeah, man. You just keep running your face until no way nowadays you see Boniface. Immediately,
I love camera to be see my face when I'm talking, right?
we're gonna bring check.
Everybody's looking at me. But you
Check,
see what
check
happened, and let's see this weather business.
all right, check from Nimba County, from Truth FM Nimba. Check Sheriff. I hope I get your name correct. But good evening, my dear friend and brother and my colleague. Good evening, Nimba.
Yes, Nima is okay. Let me say good evening to the entire team. Nima is okay.
Wonderful. Thank you
That's
for
great.
joining the SKTV show.
Where's
And
the update?
go ahead, Mom.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mabel. And we are here as we tell you that Nima is good, Nima is cool. And today it was wonderful in District number 7, where the District number 7 representative, like he said the other time, he's going to share his salary into 2. The cutting down of the budget from the Bound Health Center and that of the Sktv-Lib comprehensive. So today, it was good for District number 7 health team, the both hospital, the comprehensive and that of the Bound Health Center. They received 2 new brand vehicle today from the representative of Musa Hassan Belete. So Nima is okay.
Wonderful. Nimba is okay. We have so many questions that we're going to ask you. But first of all, I want you to be free. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your stay here on the SKTV show. And here, we don't dress back from all of the 12 questions. So we hope and pray that usually when you come here, you will feel a little relaxed and be part of the broadcast. So first, I want to say welcome to the Sktv show, even though today is your first time. And we want to say welcome. So people, please, let's share the show. Or Share will give us a full...
Yeah, let's share the show. I don't know. The number is not, the number that I'm seeing on the screen is not anything closer to our daily target. I don't know what's going on. Share the show, please.
So for now, we don't want to give any kind of an update here until at least when we reach 200 to 300 to 400. At least then Shek will give us a full updates.
Yeah.
We'll also asking questions about some of the happening there in Nimba. So let's share the show. Shek, all of you, Muna. Yeah. So
let me share too. I think I came on a little bit late. I didn't share myself. I didn't put on my wall first.
So let's share the show, people. Today is Wednesday. It's Lily's night. So many things happening at I think in Ghana. There also a terrible motor accident. Also, yeah. So many things happening in the nation capital. Please let's share the show. Fumba Sambi CC, let's share. Chief Jefferson M. Colette, please let's share. Emmett Hammer from Cat City, let's share the show, my people, please. Abraham Connor, also let's share. James David, yeah, indeed, let's share the show, people. So many things to talk about today. The ACC, we have so many things to say. So now, not dressing back. I saw more comments today and laugh. So I will ask more, about all these things. So not dressing back. Please, let's share the show. Those of you who just joining us. Yes. Okay, so while we're doing the sharing of the show, Muna, is there any social news quickly that you want to give to us?
No, just that the weather here, the rain is falling, weather is cool. So no more person that under the weather bring itself. Yeah, because the area is cool. You got people toasting, yeah. That's what happening right now. People going out, sitting, say, oh, whatever bring itself because the place is cool. Yeah, right now is where I do.
What's going on with it?
Today's night.
Bebon, you want to refresh your browser. Something is not right.
Yeah.
The numbers I'm seeing
you're the RT man. You got to tell something.
Just refresh your browser a little bit and see what's going on.
All right. Let me see. Yes.
Because the numbers I'm looking at here.
Yes.
Something is not clicking right. By this time, what people I haven't seen our sister Yometro. She's very swift when it comes to sharing video. She can flood my inbox too with she's a tough person. She don't play when it comes to sharing the show. Yeah, Lawrence, Elizabeth.
100 plus now. I think more you correct. So many things happen. Yeah, something was happening. But again, people keep sharing. Those of you who are sharing, please let's share the show. Yeah, we also sharing on the side, doing our best to get all of our people informed or connected to this show this evening. So again, yes, we are good to go. At least we hit him gradually. So yeah, Mark, Lemon,
What's
what we
up,
say?
Chief?
Yes,
I
I'm
get
good, my
more,
brother.
right? I think we're 200 plus.
Yes,
Yep.
we're almost
We
hitting.
halfway there, but I think we get there.
Yeah, so we're almost
Yeah, I
hitting
think it was from
300.
there.
Yes. So that move,
Yep.
people, that move. Let's share the show. Let's share so that other two can also have access to the show. To also watch all of the film. Yeah, you know, I'm on a play for Lone Star. So some of you, yeah, yeah, the country
The
is good.
national team is playing today, right?
Yeah, I think
Or they play earlier, right?
they get started at 4 o'clock. I think
Yeah.
that's 4 o'clock. But I think by this
I
time
think
the
we're
game
playing
should be
Tunisia.
ended. Yeah, I think by this time.
Can you imagine the
Yeah.
national team is playing? Not too many people are aware. Like I don't even keep track of the national team. That's why I told you guys. It seems that the counter meet is more. It take more of the mojo from the national team, and I don't see the incentive because the counter meet. I don't know. We are more sectarian than being nationalists. The national team just doesn't have that mojo or that aura anymore when it comes to soccer in Liberia. The fee is almost empty to non-existent, but the counter meet, then the stadium is filled to the rafter. So it's the same old thing every day. But that's it. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
feel Lone Star lost
My
either
national
one
team
zero. I
playing.
left the game. Yeah, I left the game one
Yeah.
zero. I was a little bit busy, so I don't know how I get ended, but I can assure you that Lone Star, maybe they did well. I think I did well, yes. You correct me, because I was watching back to
They
back.
lost. They lost
And
1-0
I,
into the deep way, right?
yeah, but I wanted that Monk. We did well at least.
That's the
Even though what
standard.
Jesse, Monto, even what Jesse, it's stress. So at least we did well. It's a Monk to wear Jesse. In this country of ours, Monk, where politicians are now becoming celebrity, politicians, they are not celebrity. They run 100,000 car. I thought of I thought the car is supposed to be for celebrity, and so but politicians are not celebrity. You want to get something good? Nothing. But anyway,
And
let's move.
we played Tunisia, right? I can remember. I think which year? I think Labro back in the day when we were picking in Labro, we won the field. We drew with Tunisia 1-1. I can remember it was Janitor Segwe that scored
Yeah.
that long goal, and then on our way out, because we thought the game was over, we were finding our way to the gate just to make sure we get out before the crowd started rushing. And Tunisia equalized. I think it was in the 89 minute. I can still remember at the time Bocha, your lawmaker now from I think River G, he was the striker. And I remember Tunisia had one of the best goalkeepers on the continent. They call him Chokri Elwaya. He used a man for Esperant in Tunisia. That guy was like a cat. To score on that guy, maybe it wasn't easy. You know how Bocha scored on that guy? He forced the goalkeeper into the net because Bocha had big body. He's very strong. So when he jumped up, man, he hit that guy. When that guy fell, he bought the ball in the net. I can still remember Tunisia. And we went there for return leg. They end up hitting, I think, 4-1 or 4-2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we
Which
always
one the
been
team are you talking
biology with
about,
love.
Monk? Is that a We Are 11? Because I
I'm
don't know
talking
which one
about
you're
George.
talking
We are 11.
about.
I'm
Okay,
talking about
good.
we are
Because
11.
yes, because myself I saw Vama Boto, about them, he was living in Johnson Road. Myself up there where I used to live. At that time, young or small kid coming. But Monk, Vama Boto, you just talk about I know you say who was so powerful, heavy, and fit.
Bocha,
But when
Jonathan Samuel. What are you talking
but when
about,
you
bro?
could still Vama Boto back then, hey God, what?
Bocha, Danisa Segwe, Jean Diva, or Oliver McCall, or Frank Seaton, those were the guys that have real frame. We're talking about real physical structure. Jonas Sawi, those are the guys that have body. When you see them, you see their calf muscle. You say, yeah, the guys are professional soccer player. Like, they were built from top to bottom. Even you can look at James Diva today, even though he retired, but look at his body, look at his structure. He stay fit. Like someone that is in like maybe like 30s or their 40s, but he's an older guy, but stay. Those guys George We Are 11 was the best we ever put in that country. And we have men on that team. When those guys line up for when you go for line up, you see your national team, you feel happy, you know that's a national team. But then after they started bringing those short, small guys there from all over, like, we're not going anywhere with those kind of players. The talent is not there. The support is not there. Everything is missing. So we are far away from that Georgia 11. That was the best ever in history as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. So, Mark, according to all of our people who also following us, they saying that Liberia lost 1-0. Okay, because I left the game 1-0. I think that was in the first. I think that was the first 3 minutes. Either between 3 to 5 minutes.
In the first 3 minutes. In the first 3 minutes.
Correct.
Yeah, the ball came in 4 minutes.
3 minutes, right?
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Wow.
So
that was an early minute goal. He had to redeem early minute goal, a psychological break, and just take the sting out of the game.
What? Anyway, at least we did what I said. I did a 1-0. But anyway, people, that move, we almost in 500 now. Thank you to all of you, our people. Those of you who sharing the show, continue to do. Thank you so much. Yeah, so today we will be looking at all things until maybe Mr. Kane join us. And that'll better still, or Steve, then join us. But Monk and myself, we plan on looking at the happening there in Burkina Faso, right, Monk? And that'll also compare that also with us here as people. What we're doing, what are we intend to do? Because if the Burkina Faso president or the grandson of our president who also refusing to build 200 marks, there were news circulating, or in fact have been circulating around that in the Saudi Arabia, right, Mark?
Yeah, it was Saudi Arabia that made that offer.
Good. So Saudi Arabia said they wanted for the president of Burkina Faso to build up to 200 marks. And he told them, no. Our people here, they don't need, I don't know how, hundreds, 500, 700 marks. No. But they need development. They need company. They need
we need factories for jobs.
Thank you.
We need hospital here. We need infrastructure development. I mean, we appreciate the religious aspect is not a bad thing, but it's not a priority right now. I guess they got more mosques, and maybe I know Burkina Faso is a predominantly Muslim country, so I know there are more mosques in Burkina Faso. So what you are literally saying here, as much as we respect religion, we just need other things, because it's the same thing that happening throughout the entire continent. It happened even in Rwanda, that he had to shut down churches and mosques because the Paul Kagame, he raised the standard for opening a religious institution in the country. He's not anti-faith. It's just that when you just have too much, then at a certain point in time, it becomes overbearing. So he was like, no, we got a lot of challenges in this country that we must address. So I welcome the idea of religious practices, but when it's too much, then it becomes an issue. So I don't think they are outrightly rejecting the Saudi investment. Just telling them, you know what? Prioritize the infrastructure, the road, the job creation, then you can come with a must. But for now, we are on a national campaign to take people out of poverty and create jobs. That's exactly what he meant. So maybe the Saudi ways, they will repackage the offer and maybe come with the development first and then come with the must separate.
Because I have some of our missionary, but then I think I had a came right more. Because they put no, can't give our land. It's okay, I think the only one of the only people.
Yeah, we come with religion, right? Yeah, that's how the Arabs were able to capture North Africa too, from trade.
Oh, yes.
They came with the idea of first Congress. When they couldn't succeed, then they established a trade route. Don't forget that North Africa is very closer to the Middle East and part of Europe, but the Mediterranean, separate them from Europe. So in terms of land, the Suez Canal, how they call it, is the Suez Canal, right? That connect the North Africa, Egypt, and part of Saudi Arabia when you cross the canal into the Middle East. So they were like, okay, if we cannot get the land by Congress, then we might either get it by trade and religion. That's how when you go to all the North African countries, they are predominantly Arabs or Muslim countries, because they were more closer, and through trade, they were able to have influence. And then the Portuguese, when they came to West Africa and other part of Africa, maybe Southern Africa, they came with the Christianity religion. That's why Christianity is mostly popular in Africa, because they had influence during the transatlantic slave trade, even after the Berlin Conference, when things started opening up, like all these people came with religion and we embrace the religion. So that's it. Religion will always be part of our daily activity, no matter what.
Even though Mark, even though we'll go deep into that,
Now
and
the Chinese are coming now, right? It's the time of the Chinese. Sorry, maybe.
good, because they're where we come from and they're where we are heading to, Mark. Because if you look at all of our life today, even some of the religions, quote unquote, are also maybe that the people brought on us, that some of us today that we are even killing each other for, that we are even corrupting each other for, or in fact that we are also using against one another, family members, people fighting battle. But anyway, we'll come to that. But let's go back to Shek quickly. Shek, in 2 minutes, or maybe at most in 2 minutes, just give us the all of the updates when it comes to
Okay,
election
get it in
activities.
5 minutes. Talk about Nimba
5
talk
minutes?
about 2 minutes, yeah? Wait.
Yeah, all
Let
right,
me
no
let me
problem.
let me elaborate. Give up. That's the era of concentration, right? That's the
Because
focal point in Liberian politics. Nimba country.
we'll be asking you a question, Mark, but you're right. Anyway, 5 minutes. Go ahead, my brother.
Thank you, Mabel, and thank you to all of the guys. Yes, like I said today, it was wonderful in District 7 for the health sector with the District number 7 representative, on Musa Hassan Benete donating 2 new brand pickups to the health facility, that is the Bound Health Center and the Sktv-Lib Comprehensive. Then I've been a long time promised by Musa Hassan Benete since 2024. After he rubbed a hand on the shoulder of his colleague, to increase the budget. But before going to the 55th legislatures, the budget of the Sktv-Lib Comprehensive was around 125,000, while the Bound Health Center was around 75,000. So when he went around 2024, when he entered, he managed to work with his colleagues, and then they increased it up to 149,000 for Sktv-Lib Comprehensive, and Bound Health Center went to 125,000. But with this crisis, between the majority and majority bloc and minority bloc, they decided to cut down the budget again back to the normal stage. So he was kind of like dissatisfied the way the government treated the people of District 7. Remember, this district is one of the districts that voted hugely for the United Party. So he was saying that if you want to punish me, why you can punish me as an individual, and then you will punish my people, the people who voted, the people who made you to get huge amount of vote in the entire Nimba County District 7. No district voted the District 7. Why couldn't you punish me and then punish your own people who gave you the power? So then he decided to, tell them that he's going to share his salary into 2, to provide them vehicle, because the concentration was as to what they need. The 2 health centers, they asked them what they need. They said, in terms of, the doctors getting to Monrovia, other places, the hospital staff, it can be difficult for them. So they told on mobility that they need a vehicle to be able to transport them. Even when they're going for drugs in Monrovia, they got to use the ambulance, or sometimes they have to go to the city mayor to ask the city mayor to assist them, and it was giving them like tough time. So they told the representative that they needed the 2 vehicle. So unfortunately, he told them that this month that vehicle going to get ready. So yesterday he called the both hospital administrators that today their vehicle going to arrive. So this morning, it was first at the Sktv-Lib Comprehensive. They have the lay program. So later again, they went to Ban, and then they have another program there. But the 2 vehicles were dedicated today to the both medical, facilities. Especially, it was already burned. The Ban Health Center was rating on it. Ban Health Center, Ban Health, Self Center, and then donated by District of Service representatives. However, as the Sktv-Lib Comprehensive, it was also rating on it. The Sktv-Lib Comprehensive, he did everything, and then he flew it and turned it over to the hospital today. But they were so happy, they were so glad today, because they have been a constraint, according to the medical doctor. More often getting on motorbike, going for meeting in Ban, sometimes going to Ganta for meeting. It was risky for him. At night, he will go at the house, and then they will have an emergency. They have to call the doctor to come, and then he will be looking for motorbike all around. It was like a constraint, serious constraint, So when they asked them, when the representative asked them, they said they wanted a vehicle. the both hospital, they say they wanted vehicle. So today the vehicle are provided and bound with the last stop. And then we came back to Sktv-Lib.
I got a question for you, my brother, because you are the one on ground. You know exactly what's going on. Why is the feeling like, from a political standpoint, why are you observing in Nimba County, even though it's still early and the official campaigning season is about to kick out, but not yet, it's not official. So what's your take from the ground, just from your own observation? Why are you observing? Which candidate you think are more formidable? Who is putting up a fight, or who might put up a fight, and who you think the race is going to be between, whether it's a 3-horse race or 2-horse race? Where's your observation?
And that is the issue right now in Nimba. You know, the name Musa Hassan Belete is a household name in Nimba, and it is making it politically difficult now in Nimba for anybody to just ride easier, you know, on the citizen, because one of the names they have for it is talk and do. So Mr. Belete living in the hands of Mike Bluon, it is a serious boost for Mark. And as it stands right now, many speakers are saying that while on Belete supporting Mark, and you know, Mark was a county inspector doing the job we are regime. He understands the county, he moved around. So he was telling Mr. Belete, don't worry about running campaign, because I understand the county, I know the county, but and one of the person who seemed to be dissatisfied with Belete supporting Mark is Osama Koka, saying that Belete put against him his children, one of his son, who is Mike Bluon. You know, Mike Bluon came from the Gil Belt, district number 6, you know, law place. So if you look at Wokoka now, who came from the Gil Belt, district number 5, and you have, I think, 3 sons coming from that place, where the guys are very popular guys. They got force, they got strength in election. They have the councillor, Garrison Dodo Yelu, who came from district number 4, and Mike came from district 6. So he came from district number 5. So, you know, most people are saying that the vote now is going to be shared. So that's the fear of the district number 5 representative. So, you know, this issue of going around saying we want one minor senator, we need one Gil senator, is what being, you know, flagged in the whole area. But it seems to be a little bit, you know, tied in terms of politics, because Mayo, this statement from Belete telling the vice president to stay away from this politics, it now seems to be the godfather of Nimba. You know, let the children go in the mud. Anybody who want to throw mud on somebody, and then they will carry complaint to him. You know, it's circulating the entire country now. Some people are saying it the way the lawmaker didn't say it. You know, you have the city mayor who came from the NDR background. He told him when he said the way he wanted to say it. But you know, it was on camera, it was on TV. So you don't lie to people. You don't say what, you know, the man didn't say. So it's getting difficult. Political engagement are ongoing. Some people are engaging all night. For last night, we saw on Wokoka passing through, going through the Bay region, district sharing. And one of the concerns from the citizen has been as to why are you coming to visit her in the night? You know, why are you visiting her all night? If they will need you, if the people need you, why, you know, they can't wait. They can't wait for you. And say the
demonstrate.
Yeah, so the people can go on the farm. So you know that only in the night they can be home. You know, that was the concern from the citizen. Why can't you come to her in the day? Why are you coming all night? You know, so that alone raised concern again yesterday by the citizen, and so it's getting interesting in Nimba County, Melbourne.
So let me come here again, Melbourne. If you guys understand, let me just come in quick. So you are literally saying, from what I heard from you, is the idea that this whole thing that one person must be a mono candidate and one person must be a Gil candidate is not playing now, right? People are not buying into that narrative, right? They want for everybody to go out there.
People are not buying that narrative. And as a matter of fact, even you come from the Gil belt, you know, you are a citizen of Nimba. You come from the Man belt, you are a citizen of Madingo, whatever tribe you come from, you know, you are a citizen of Nimba. You know, it is your right. Whatever tribe you are, it is a right to contest in the election. And by the way, there were several senators that represented Nimba, you know, in the past. They came from the Gil belt. You have this senator who was from district number 6, Senator, what is his name? he came from the Gill Belt. He was there with Senator Johnson, you know, and you also have another senator in Nimba County, Thomas Gubi. You have the former senator Thomas Gubi. He came from district number 8, district 6. Sorry, he came from district 6. You were there with Honorable Prince Yomi Johnson. May his soul rest in peace. You know, they were there for some years, and you have again at the time you have Senator Jeremiah Panku. At the then he was senator, and they came from the Gill Belt. They were there. So senators are saying, what's happening if even 2 Mano go there? Even when 2 Gill go there, it means nothing. So they've been having
it means nothing, right?
All along. So the issue of this tribal issue, Nimba are not listening to it. Nimba are no longer listening to it. So for me, for what I was observing, that have been his message all along. You know, according to Osama Kuka, that he the one that jumped over Senator Johnson body. So he took the traditional glory that Senator Johnson was a traditional man. And so nobody else, if you're not part of traditional, you can't go down there. So citizens were asking as to, is it the capital building? It's a traditional, it's a zoo bush, in a traditional center where you go, you know, you're going to prioritize tradition. It's about representation. It's not about tradition. What you can do for your people when you go down there, so that they're value for tomorrow's sake. So that is what actually happening.
Maybe follow up, because that's good news I'm hearing from the traditional thing and the whole tribal sentiment thing. And it makes sense that if you have 2 former Gill senators, why you want to change the game now by saying one should come from the Mano and one should come from the Gill, when in fact there are other ethnic minorities in the county. So if that whole thing is not selling, then that's a good thing for the people who are posting your challenge, like the underdogs and the other people like Female Kennedy and the Mark Blaine of the world. That's a good news for them. If people are not buying that narrative that this thing should be between a Gill and the Mano, then that's a good thing. But I don't know what you got to say, my brother. Go ahead.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mark. I don't know what I can still recall on the show. I told you people that indeed, at long last, Nimba County will be free, no matter which type of politics the people do there, or some of the people who feel that maybe they can only bring out or maybe talk about only tribal politics. Nimba County will be free like the other counties very, very soon. For me, I'm sensing that, and I can safely tell you that. So that's good. Myself, I love that. I really like that news. But I go back to the National Election Commission, my dear brother, check the NEC on today again. They have their press release, or they have their public service announcement, and in that announcement, they also talk about a photo card that those our registered voters who participated in the 2023 elections, maybe would have voting card got damaged or lost, they should proceed at the various magistrate. So I want to ask you, Sheikh, are you seeing anything happening? Are you seeing people? Okay, but first, let me see. I think they are saying at the beginning, but is there any awareness to that? First, let me ask you first before we go to the main date.
Maybe this is surprising us in the country, because Mayu, the last edition of this whole election, 2023 elections, since that elections, the National Election Commission upon Nimba have not been able to settle down with the community radio stations in Nimba County, especially even we are here, True FM, they are not been able to settle their differences with us. So they find it difficult now to, extend our message. As I sent them, we are not hearing anything from the Office of the National Election Commission, whether upper Nimba, lower Nimba, because I can see almost all of the local radio stations in Nimba, the National Election Commission holding them. So what they were saying, that majority of our colleagues were saying that they were going to give media blackout to the National Election Commission until they can settle that difference with the various radio station. So as it stands, they are going around with those small, civil society organization, they will just look at you, maybe 5-6 person, and then they sign contract with you. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that cannot help, because Nimba is very big. This is about information. So if you have 5-6 person as a civil society group, and then they just go around the community, maybe the city, cannot inform the entire Nimba County? I say no, because the radio station should be the one to do everything. But since that pronouncement, not seeing any action from the National Election Commission, whether upper Nimba or lower Nimba. So that's where we are. And as it stands, the election commission have not been able, Nimba County detachment have not been able to even call any of the radio stations to settle that difference with them. So the guys are saying that they're going to put a media blackout on there. So how can they give this announcement out in the county? And this is very important. It's troubling. Our people waiting, be and do around the radio sales bell. They don't have the means of rule to come here. They listen to the radio. As we're speaking right now, we are in Riverside County, we are in Grand Gillette County, we are in Grand Boxer, we are in Bapuru. So through this medium, they will be able to hear as to what is happening if they are in co-partner with the Vera radio station. So there have been no publicity on the whole issue.
So technically, you are just confirming what our brother Cyprian said day before yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, or yesterday, that there are poor media outreach, poor publicity when it comes to the voter education, even for people renewing their voters card. Nothing in the making for now, especially when it comes to the radio station. But you are on the radio now, so I think it's the same thing we discussed yesterday. So nothing changed on that.
They are not making any arrangement yet.
All right.
Well, so that's it. And the exercise will begin on tomorrow, the 20th of March, according to their PSA. Even though they haven't yet, that's the thing. I was thinking about joking with Monk to say maybe it is the same way that you say sometimes they do that. These are joking to us, so don't take it very serious. But Monk, it is indeed frustrating though that money you put in for budget for something, and instead of you maybe giving out the funding for the rightful purpose, you decide to do it the way you want to do it. Monk, what are you sensing? Are you sensing a very poor turnout in a election due to some of these things that have already started?
For me, I'm following the issue in Nimba County because I'm looking at 2029. And Nimba County is not a regular county. It's the second most populated county in Liberia from an electoral standpoint. And the whole issue of tribal sentiment or tribal politics, we can use Nimba County as a measuring tool to see what we can project into the future when it comes to 2029. And they think about suppressing the vote or people not being in tune to politics. Usually special election, the tenor is already low, right? It always happens to be lower, right? As opposed to the general election. Now, when you talk about voter suppression or whether it's about poor outreach and poor voter education and people are still on the edge, then it's going to make it even worse. Then it means even a process that is already noted for having low participation, then you only add the pressure to it, right? It means it will only play to the establishment candidate because the fewer people that will participate, then more than likely the well-known candidate will be the one to benefit. But if you got a lot of people participating, when you can increase the pool of voters, then it's an open game. It's a tough for people to go and compete. That just has.
Well, Sheikh, is there another thing maybe that you want to say quickly, or any of our panelists? Mona, you got a question for Sheikh?
It was a very.
No, it's okay. The question you want to ask me is it just okay on my end?
All right, good. So Sheikh, any other thing like okay? Thank you, Sheikh. This didn't come to my mind. How was the activities? I understand that the vice president was in district number 7. Is that sometime this week or last weekend?
The vice president expected to be here, but I've been in the district. I've not seen the vice president, but he expected to be here this week. Yeah, this week.
Good. Thank you.
That's what we're hearing from the United Partisan. He expected to be here this week. And remember, the vice president now is full-fledged United Partisan, and that's the argument ground now as to why would the vice president be a United Partisan? They are not feeding Kennedy, and he coming very close in the election, coming to labor the hand of Kennedy, and is that a good signal for him? Because mind you, 2029 is coming. The vice president made intention maybe to go on the ticket of the United Party. And almost all of them are in a race. They are sons and daughters of Nimba County. So if you count among the children of Nimba and then you leave one person hands up, and what's happened to you 2029 if your brother and sister say we're not standing by you? So it's going to be a difficult task for him. So that's why the district number 7 representative was saying, well, the United Partisan, and that was the MDR criticizing Mr. Benedict Voice. But according to Mr. Benedict today, he say it on the face of the vice president after inviting him to a house. I think day before yesterday when he went there, he told him, he said, what I said before, that's what I come to tell you, you know, even though you invited me, but stay away from the election. You keep telling him to stay away from the election because you don't want to throw mud on the vice president to go and sit at the executive mansion and give advice to those who go in the mud. So this is the number one news in the county. You know, other people are saying it the way they want to say it. But I mean, and other citizens are saying that Mr. Bilete is right. Mr. Bilete is fully right because the vice president now seems to be the head of this county. Traditionally, he is the godfather right now until otherwise other. So he shouldn't come in the election to raise one person here and then leave the other children out. And tomorrow will come, you need them again. If they say they're not coming by your way, then you decide to take them as an enemy. And remember, the vice president office, after they have come here for a youth program, they said it. They said that they are going to support on Samuel Kuka. You know, they said they're going to support on Samuel Kuka. They got money. They will spend all the money on Kuka. Besides that, they are in government. They controlling the budget. They are listening to the decision of a lawmaker. On say, they will support Kuka. They will do everything. You know, they're in government. They can spend any amount of money for Kuka to win election. But the citizens are saying that this is not about money, right? This is not about money. It's about what you do for us. You know, we eat the money, but I mean, we need good representation. You know, most of the classes in the house today, it was masterminded by Kuka, and that's what Nimba are saying. You went there, you put this country at hostage for some months, and then coming back to us to vote you. By the way, if you know that you're going to come to us to vote you, the way you suffer us, and our hospital bill were already increased, you make sure you decrease it. The Ministry of Finance went and decreased the budget for those 2 hospitals, and you were there as a lawmaker, a son of Nimba County. There was no independent statement from you. You know, 7 lawmakers who were at the majority block. Nobody said anything. It just remained at that. So most of the citizens in the Zoga region were saying that what you did to us, we're going to pay you back. You know, so we were asking them, what do you mean by pay back? Someone said, yeah, but the man did good for us, so we'll give him good. You know, in the opposite form. So I mean, that's just what happened. Everything is just about the
by-election. Follow-up question to that, Sheikh. Are they talking about tangible? Are they talking about, like, for example, now that we're not going to buy pig in bag, or we're going to vote for someone who maybe quote unquote doing things that we've seen with our own eyes, or are they vote, or maybe are they still accepting promises?
No, the people are saying that this time around is not about promises. As I told you from the other stage, that district number 7 lawmaker have made everything complex in the district, especially in Liberia now, especially for Nimba County. When it comes to election, no more free ride in Nimba County, where you will go and, oh, I will pay you bridge. And when you vote me, I will pay you bridge. When you vote me, you know, I will rehabilitate your road, your farm to market road, to enable you bring your pita ball, your pepper to the market, the upper market. You know, I will pay you school when you put me there. It is not working again in Nimba County. The citizens are saying that is not working. And that is why you see majority of the people are congratulating on Musa Hassan Belete, because Mayu, whatever thing he says, he do it. He do it for his people. And the people are seeing tangible in on Belete. And they were telling him, thank you for raising the hand of Mike. Because with Mike coming from the angle of the CMC and the CMC dream to this country is so wild that they're going to stand behind Mike to see how best Mike can go to the House of Senate through Honorable Musa Hassan Belete, and Honorable Belete saying he's going to make sure everything, whatever thing the people of Nimba name through Mike is going to be built, or a rehabilitation of road, opening new road, farm to market, bridges, and other things. And let me just let you know, guys, that there's a bridge in district number 9. I think some of you have been seeing the Yard River Bridge, it's far longer than the Yard River Bridge. That bridge linked between district number 9 and Bon County. That means you can pass through Tapeta, you use the other route to go to Sekepa, then you cross that river to go to Parala, then you'll find yourself in Banga, all the way to Morova. You don't need to pass to Saklepe, pass through Ganta, all the way, you know, before you go to Bon County to go to Morovia. So that's going to be a shocker for those of you who will come from, you know, when you come from Grand Gila, get news around, maybe. So according to district number 7 lawmaker, he's going to have the groundbreaking for that bridge on Saturday. It's far longer than the Yabiwa Bridge. So you're going to have that groundbreaking for that bridge on Saturday. So that means all roads leads to district number 9 come Saturday, this Saturday.
So let me this is why, I mean, you've been talking for a while, but I would say I take 3 talking points from everything you have deliberated on so far. The first thing you say, the one thing that is not working now, matter of fact, you need 3 things. You say the whole thing about Gio and Manon representation, that the 2 senators, one should be Gio and one should be Manon, it's not working anymore. People not buy into that narrative. That's one, right? The second thing you say, from my own understanding, is the people of Nimba County want neutrality from the VP. They don't want him putting his thumb on the scale or participating. They want him to be on the sidelines because they like him at 2029. They don't want him to take side because maybe he might come back to haunt him in 2029. That's what you said, right? Just to be clear. And then the third thing you said that people say they want tangible. The whole idea of you promising we will do this, we will do that. They want someone who can show them first and they will buy into that. They are not buying for that or falling for the whole thing that, oh, when you become elected, when you are in the Senate, then you will be able to do 1 or 2 things here for our country. If you cannot show all the goods now, we are not carrying you. We are not buying pig in the bag anymore. Is that what you are saying?
Exactly. That is what happening here in Nimba. And as I must tell you, whatever way you go and whatever place you go in Nimba, that's exactly the citizen are saying we no longer want pig in a bear, vote me, you just vote me and I will come back later, I'll pay your bridge, I'll face your role. It's not working. It is not working in Nimba. So the people need tangible, and talk and do when you say you must do it. So many of them are saying, let me come to Okuka a little bit because many of his campaign, his engagement, because campaign are not fully open yet until the 30th of this month. So many of the engagement have been, I will, So the people are saying, you said it to us in District 5 12 years back, and then it's coming again. So for us, we believe in tangible. We want to see it for ourselves, ability is being.
But that's the thing. The thing. Tangible could go both ways, right? Tangible for me, do it now, and we can trust you later. Or if you've been in elected office, then tell us what you did in the past. That will have the faith enough to give you another mandate into the future. So that my understanding that how I'm going to interpret it when you say talk and do, because now like a guy like Mark Blair, he ran on the category of chairmanability and the CMC, right? They are the one doing the work. They are the one putting the tangibles on the table. But then for a guy like Koga who been there already, and Mark Blair, that was Inspector General, even though I won't consider that to be an elected office, but still he has some kind of a position or leverage in the county before. So the people are saying, you either show us what you can do now. We are not doing set pay. We are not paying it forward, right? Tell us, show us the tangible now, or if you've been there in the past, we want you to point finger to some of the things that you did in the past that will give us the guarantee or the constant reassurance that in the future you can do it for us again. And if that is the case, if what you are saying here is the truth as to what's happening on ground, then for now we'll say I'm satisfied with the people of Nimba County because I wanted it to be an open, I wanted it to be a toss-up. Let people go and fight, let people go and make their case, rather than someone crying there and someone believing that the VP can come and pick the next pick the next or lawmaker from Nimba County. But if they are calling for neutrality from the VP, then that's a good sign. And not only for Nimba County, maybe this could be the template. That's why I'm heavily invested in Nimba County election, because it will be something for us to carry the work to the 9. Maybe when Nimba County set an example, the rest of the other counties that be voting on the tribal land on bringing back characters to the table, maybe they might change and take a different route. That's why we are following this race very, very closely. For me, I want for every candidate to go out there and make their case based on the merit. We want tangible. We want to know your vision for the country. The whole idea that you got to be another godfather after Prince Johnson, it's not working. It never worked before. Prince Johnson is there now, so we cannot keep making the argument that we need another hero. No, if you want to be a hero, show us what you can do now or what you did in the past. I think that should be the main strong. Yeah.
I like that.
Exactly what he said. What he said.
30 seconds, check quickly before we go for news. We already on the dot for our news break. So indeed, we are about to go for news. Check and trust me, we'll come back. We're going to go into that a little bit. Then we'll bring out the ACC. Maybe today we may not even talk about the Burkina Faso president we may likely talk about the other IACC investigations that have been completed. Then we'll open a line to interact with our people. Thank you so much, Sheikh. So we'll go for the news.
All right, I join you guys later.
Thank you.
Yeah, so first, thanks to all of you for keep following Truth FM 96.1 and other Real TV, Sktv, right here. We are live and we're going for a news break. Trust me, by the time we come back from there, we're going to continue with the Sktv show up to 8 o'clock on tonight. Indeed, we here. Don't get it twisted. There's so many things happening in Nimba County, and you will get all of the gist, all of the happening and everything from Nimba. This break. And we will be right back after the news break. Yes. Wow.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. Blessing that time and that efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here the promise from them. So welcome my life without fear.
I lyrical
Master.
Play Paris, who make you, I can't ask you if you been you. Say my journey, Tina get I say my yamu. And you say no money, and more I you. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmaster.
And I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do boy ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do boy ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I don't get it now.
Bloc Speaker Rachel Cohn are calling on the Supreme Court to dismiss the bill of information filed by embattled Speaker Fonati Kofar and his team, as negotiation for a new collective bargaining agreement in Firestone comes to a close. The leadership of the Workers' Union says results from the process represent their expectations. The host communities of the Asilamenta concession have unanimously endorsed the extension of Asilamenta Liberia's investment and ratification of its Fair Mineral Development Agreement. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Lawyers representing the majority bloc Speaker Rachel Cohn are calling on the Supreme Court to dismiss the bill of information filed by embattled Speaker Fonati Kofar and his team. In their response, filed on Friday, March 14, 2025, Cohn lawyers argued that the Supreme Court should refrain from intervening in the House of Representatives' internal matters. They maintain that the judiciary has its own rules and penalties governing the conduct of judges and lawyers who violate judicial ethics, emphasizing that the court's involvement in internal disciplinary actions against House members contravenes Article 3 of the Liberian Constitution, which upholds the doctrine of separation of powers. According to the lawyers, the Supreme Court inquiries into disciplinary actions taken against members who have been afforded what they call due process violates constitutional principles. Cohn lawyers, headed by former Senator Councilor Vani Sharon, said their clients have not violated the order or mandate of the Supreme Court's opinion and judgment of December 6, 2024. In the constitutional case, Councillor Sherman maintained that the amended Bill of Information is meritless, unfounded, and pray that the court denies it. Additionally, the respondents argued that Kofar violated ECOWAS protocols by appointing allies to the ECOWAS parliament without proper elections by the House of Representatives. According to RCR judicial correspondent, while respondent attempted to correct what they call irregularities, ECOWAS clarified that once representatives are sworn in, they cannot be replaced during their term. They stated that COFA's actions have disrupted the House of Representatives, threatening its functionalities, thereby appealing to the Supreme Court for a clear, unequivocal judgment to prevent any future misuse of judicial processes to obstruct legislative operations. The Supreme Court has since set March 26, 2025 for legal argument in Imbatu Speaker Kofar's Bill of Information. As negotiation for a new collective bargaining agreement in Firestone comes to a close, the leadership of the workers' union says their results from the process represent their expectation. Speaking to RCR News on Tuesday, the president of the workers' union, Redine Bangali, among other things, named 50% service benefits for retirees, annual increment, and reduction in the price of rice as some of the gains FAO made during the negotiation. Bangali was, however, quick to mention that the negotiation later experienced unexpected procrastination when parties involved with the process could not properly interpret Article 17.1 of the 2015 Decent Work Act, which talks about 8 hours and 45 hours of work. He used the medium to thank the Ministries of Labor, Justice, and National Bureau of Concessions and the America-based labor movement for their support during the negotiation. The host communities of ArcelorMittal Liberia concession have unanimously endorsed the extension of ArcelorMittal Liberia's investment and ratification of a steer mineral development agreement. In a resolution read at ArcelorMittal's 20th anniversary celebration, chiefs, elders, youth, and eminent citizens of Yemen and Sinzor in Nimba County unanimously endorsed their concern, admiration, and support for ArcelorMittal Liberia extension. The citizens in their resolution stated that as the host of ArcelorMittal Liberia's main operation areas, they have taken time to examine the contributions of the company towards the socio-economic development of Liberia in general and Nimba County and the communities in particular in the last few years. According to them, they have come together to call for the continual presence of ArcelorMittal in Liberia in their communities and the expansion of the company operation through the ratification of the amended Mineral Development Agreement. The Nimba citizens said their endorsement is based on the contributions and rapidly growing partnership between the company and the communities being translated into jobs, support for social infrastructure development, support for the health and education sectors, among others. The citizens noted that ArcelorMittal is the biggest employee in the private sector of Liberia, with over 3,000 Liberians directly working with the company and over 5,000 Liberians working with ArcelorMittal Liberia subcontracting companies. In their resolution read by Prince Kiweni, the host communities said they want to benefit from these opportunities as the new agreement will create over 5,000 direct and indirect new jobs, which will reduce unemployment in the host communities and the country. Meanwhile, the host communities are appealing with the government the government of Liberia on ArcelorMittal behalf. The citizens noted they are the custodian of the mine which ArcelorMittal Liberia is taking the iron ore from, and they are happy for the expansion of the company's operation in their communities. The Liberia National Fire Rescue and Service has disclosed its preparedness to combat fire outbreak in the country. Fire Service Director Colonel Wasuba Babu disclosed that based on the fundings of the agency by the government, it has secured 4 pickups 2 jeeps, and a bus for the employees that will be arriving later this week. Speaking Wednesday in an interview in Monrovia, Balvo also unveiled plans to construct fire service depots in Broadville, Painesville, and Dixville to boost quick response in those areas. According to him, the newly acquired water tankers are parked at various locations in Monrovia and its environs so as to respond to fire incidents quickly. The Shadal University of India and the Grand Crew Technical College have signed a memorandum of understanding for academic collaboration and partnership. The MOU is a boost to the education sector and will facilitate students and faculty exchange between the both university and as well provide scholarship opportunities for students of the Grand Crew Technical College to seek advanced studies at the Shadal University. Speaking at the signing ceremony on Wednesday in Monrovia, India's ambassador to Liberia, Manon Bahira Vaman underscored education as foundation for progress, noting that partnership as such build people of a particular country, strengthen their relation and strengthen bilateral ties. He pledged the Indian government commitment to strengthening the education borne by providing scholarship opportunities for Liberians. For his part, the acting president of the Grand Crew Technical College, Dr. Joseph Gray, lauded the Shadal University and the Indian government for the continuous support to Liberia in the education sector. He meanwhile cautioned students of the Grand Crew Technical College to attract seriousness to their studies if the college must attract more collaborations in fostering adequate learning. And out of Liberia now, the Democratic Republic of Congo President Felix Tshisekedi and his Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame have called for an immediate ceasefire in the eastern DR Congo after having direct talks in Qatar. It is the first time the two leaders have met since Rwanda-backed M23 rebels stepped up an offensive in the region, with authorities saying 7,000 people have been killed since January. It is unclear whether the M23 will heed to the ceasefire call after the rebels refused to attend peace talk in Angola on Tuesday. The Congo accused Rwandan for disarming the M23 and sending troops to support the rebels in the conflict. Despite assertions from both the UN and the US, Rwanda has denied supporting the M23. So in this newscast, the recap of the top stories we are following. Lawyers representing the majority bloc Speaker Richard Coon are calling on the Supreme Court to dismiss the Bill of Information filed by embattled Speaker Nancy Kofar and his team. The host communities of the ArcelorMittal Liberia concession have unanimously endorsed the extension of ArcelorMittal Liberia's investment and ratification of its Fair Mineral Development Agreement. As negotiation for a new collective bargaining agreement in Firestone comes to a close, the leadership of the workers' union says the results from the process represents their expectations. And out of Liberia now, the Democratic Republic of Congo President Felix Tshisekedi and his Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame have called for an immediate ceasefire in eastern DR Congo after having direct talks in Qatar. That's our CR News Bulletin. Savina Benakita Robert presenting.
We will not allow small children to tell market when they should be in school. They should be in school. We will not allow those young ladies to go in the street all day yourself. The money you make can't even buy rice. We can't do it. We want to put dignity on our people. And that's why we're here. That's the mission we have. And I can assure you, if you check your calendar, it's exactly 4 months from today. Today's the 10th, right? When is the election? You start checking. 4 months to the date. After 4 months, you will see a new Liberia coming up. You see Liberia that will give you hope. You see Liberia where corruption will be a thing of the past because
Indeed, today is the what? Those of you who will be voting, what happened? Let me see what going on to Salvador. Okay, good, good. You know, after the news break, it can be easy. But so, folks, we're back. 16 minutes past 7. That's the time check in Liberia, and we're back after the news bulletin. The news break. We're going to continue up to 8 o'clock, but we will talk a little bit. Then we'll go straight to the line to interact with our people. You know, they are the people that we are talking for here, so they always have to be part of the show. But Mark is already here. Let me see. I'm seeing that something is happening. Shek is here. Shek, I don't know whether you said and ready, and Muna is also here, but it's just that Mark is not connecting. So maybe Mark will do some adjustment. Then he will join us. But Shek, are you there? Shek. All right. It's like Shek also. Okay. Muna. All right.
I'm here, maybe I'm here.
That one I like to be looking at you, Muna, because he can go for.
Maybe I'm here. I'm here. I whenever.
All
Don't
right, I
worry.
get
The
you.
moment the weather is okay, you'll definitely see
Okay,
me. I'm right here. Yeah.
great. Okay, let me see. Shek is here already. Shek. All right, I think Shek still setting up, but you will join us very, very soon. But Muna, I don't know whether you follow the news bulletin from our end. If you do, I don't know what some of the things that caught your attention quickly. But if not, then we'll move. Okay. I think Brother Kesedi also here. Brother Kesedi, Kesedi Sumo.
Yeah, me wrong.
Why are you in the show your you know what for yeah is that for the formula and James Cola, right? You people are afraid of your own man. Show your face.
But man, we're not in front of the poor man. We're not in front of the poor. we don't respect them, but we are not in front of them anyway.
Great, that's good. Thank you for joining us, even though you come a little bit late after the hour, but that's good. It's better late than never. Okay, so we're back. We were talking about some of the happening in Nimba County until we went for the news break. But in the news, there are things in the news, especially when it comes to the judiciary. But let me bring on Mark quickly with the entire lower house impasse. It's still continuing. But Mark, my brother, we're back after the news break.
Oh yeah, we're back. So far so good. I think the show is okay. We're doing great. We're getting update from Nimba County from our brother, and for the past couple of days, brother Suffering and he. I think they are doing exceedingly well when it comes to giving the rest of the country updates what happened in Nimba County. But we here. We got like what less than a little over 45 minutes to go, so we gotta wrap it up.
Yes, indeed. Among so quickly in 1 minute, we are getting report or news that the majority of bloc their lawyers are in fact requesting that the bill of information should be put out from the Temple of Justice. That means the Chief Justice or the justices they should trash or they should put out that bill that is in fact there is nothing there to talk about. So what say you? That's the news coming up from the majority of black or their lawyers.
Well, that's the case they are going to make to the Supreme Court for one. The one thing that I know, for me, I'm open to new ideas. I'm not fixated on a particular idea or a particular philosophy because that's how life is. You have to make some adjustment based on logic. The one thing that I say when you go to the Supreme Court will interpret constitutional matter. The Supreme Court will never ever interfere in political matter. Now, that's why you call constitutional crisis. When you got the Constitution and politics colliding, then it almost like when you're going to school, right? They get certain math problem, I don't know which generation you went to school. I mean, you went to school when you growing up. For me, we had the green algebra, the trigonometry book, and the red book, right? We used to solve all problems before even starting school. If you are good in mathematics, you could even work problem before. Let's say for a guy like me, I don't want to tote my own home yet, but I was in 9th grade, I could do the entire 9th, 10th grade, I could do the entire green book. I used to circle the answer, but there are certain problems they call undefined. Meaning, no matter how you work it, you won't get a solution. That's just why it is. So in my case, maybe the Supreme Court in Labrador can play magic, or maybe they can set a new standard that I know of globally, because all around the world, there is nowhere in the world that I know Supreme Court interfere in legislative matters. Even in this great United States, that's one thing I keep saying on the show forever. So maybe the Supreme Court, I'm not a lawyer, I never went to school for law, I'm not going to argue about that, but it will be something that I will learn for the first time in my life, that a Supreme Court will be able to settle or political or legislative score. I really, really want to see it. So that's the case the lawyer has to make. Somebody even calling for sanction. You know, you know what got me laughing today, right? When I read a front page Africa story about Edmund Glasgow's suspension, wherein the president called for the suspension and he violated the terms and conditions of NAFTA, the Act of 2017, because the number of non-statutory members that serve on the board, they are not even, there was no quorum. I said, oh, so the whole Labrador doesn't have a quorum. Our lawmaker ain't got quorum. Even at NAFTA, they don't even have a quorum on the board to even suspend the executive director or whatsoever. So Labrador, I think the whole country get calling that no quorum, because nothing is making sense. And that's just why it is. I don't know what will be the outcome of that case, but the one thing that I know, the Supreme Court will do everything. That's why the guy said, when you have issue on the bench, there are certain rules and regulations that govern you guys here, and you make decision on that without anybody interfering, because any interference is a violation of the same Article 3 of the Constitution that calls for the separation of power. The only thing that I know I can talk about here, maybe for now, I'm not a lawyer anyway.
Great. I may agree with you partially, but when it comes to all of the happening and so forth, I think in that same Constitution, I think the Constitution also said that the three branches of government should come together for the common good of the people. Because of the impasse at the lower house today, we are having to get one of our oldest building, which of course is the Capitol building, burned down or got on fire. So with all of this happening and so forth, I think that the new generation or the youth, they are a bit confused. So if all of this thing hang the way everything hanging now, with all of the court proceeding, fire investigators, all of them that even came in the country up to now, we haven't heard anything anymore about fire, about who put the place on fire, how far the entire case go. Nobody knows. And more when we continue to say, okay, yes, let's leave this, let this be this. Do you think that we are heading for somewhere good as a country, or do you think that we are also damaging the fabric of our society? Because mind you, lawlessness has taken over everywhere, even to the extent that you just talk about the NAFTA era. So everybody doing things, people arresting people, corruption cases, everything happening. Even AIC job told us that in fact they just concluded with their last year report. Where are we with all of these things? All we're seeing today is lawmakers going to court, coming back from court here and there, among. Then we say yes, okay, it's politics, and I just see it that way. So then what happened to the Constitution that also talk about the life of the people and the benefit of the people, that let the three branches work together for the common good of the people?
Yeah, but the same Constitution, I tell you, that the separation of power, that nobody shouldn't interfere in another matter. So that's why I keep telling you, you don't always want to base everything on the Constitution, because it left your interpretation. Now, you have a bicameral legislature, right? We got an upper and a lower house. In the case of the legislature, why can't you say, okay, you know what? Maybe the guys from the upper chamber, why not can they step in, call some leader in those? Don't forget now, we have 103 legislatures in both houses. Are you telling me, for the first branch of government, the people who sort of set the agenda for the country, you are telling me that when they have an internal dispute, 103 guys cannot come up with a solution among themselves, that they have to go to the judiciary branch, which is also a constitutional violation by virtue of Article 3?
But when you go back, among the 103 that you have been talking about, only 28 that are on one side. The rest of the other people, they are on the other side, and even in fact, even working, including even the executive branch of government also working with them. So it's like 28 of them are one side. They are the quote-unquote minority black, or people who, in fact, they have nothing to do, according to them. then they are the ones who are working for the Liberian people. And Monk, let's be fair enough, and let's just say, or maybe they call this true, or to say this is true and this is not true. Because Monk, you cannot suspend people, hold people's salaries, hold their benefits. So it's like even the executive also having the legislators or the or lawmakers honor their control or honor his control as a president, and these people are also working as their own will and pleasure. For me, that's what I'm saying. Because Monk, if you even look at everything, by the time one lawmaker come out today and say suspend the other lawmaker and hold all his salaries and benefits, they will do it. So then that will speak for them that in fact the executive also siding with the people, and they are doing the wrong thing in the name of they are doing a good thing. And you and myself were here, I think sometime last week or maybe week before last, when the Chief Justice said that all of our system has been polluted, all of our system is messed up because of politicians. So Monk, when we sit here and allow politicians to destroy our constitution just because certain group of people feel that they're the one that have the power?
Maybe, I don't know. I want that impasse to end as quickly as possible. I just don't know how you can end something when it's undefined. Like I said, I just use the simple mathematical theory all year when you get the politics and the constitution kind of colliding, right? Your own Chief Justice that is on her way out because of age restriction, I think it will be in June. If she's saying that we have a country that is being controlled by a bunch of gangsters, and she never took away even the judiciary branch from that particular process, because at a certain point in time when it came to the budget, they themselves they were requesting that fair share of the budget. And now the sentiment is even the judiciary branch is compromised. The fact of the matter is, in the name of finding solution, then who do you go to? You cannot trust the executive. The executive in cahoots with the lawmakers. Now the judiciary branch, you want to force them to make decisions, and enforcing them to make that political decision is also a constitutional violation. So I cannot use violation to solve violation in the name of finding a solution. That's my thing. I am saying if there is a way to solve it, let them solve it. But you cannot claim that you are a proponent of the Constitution at the same time looking for a solution that violates the Constitution. That's my argument. That's why I said when they carry that case, okay.
Yes. So a follow-up question to you, Mark. A follow-up question quickly, maybe before we go to the line, or maybe before our team of panelists also chip in on this subject. So a follow-up question to you, Mark. If you were to ask to find a solution, because mind you, you have our international partners. You have the U.S. embassy here also, I think, up to date. I stand to be corrected though. They haven't yet recognized Richard Nambekong as speaker. He's still been described as majority bloc speaker. And people are still watching, even though a few other people are recognizing him as speaker, including the president, who also said that in fact, he didn't even know what happening at Capitol building and this and that and all the kind of thing. At the end of the day, he also operating with a budget that was signed by his own Unity Party partisan. And Richard Nambekong is a partisan of the Unity Party. In fact, he even admitted that in fact he's a regime speaker. Okay, now let's move. So with all of the happening, Monk, if you were to ask to give your own fair play into this thing as to how this problem can be solved, what would be your role?
Well, I would say 1,000 times. Fernandinho Kova was never removed legitimately because there is a constitutional requirement to remove the speaker. Fernandinho Kova was only stripped of his leadership role because of quorum and because of the very same horse rule and order, right? It's all about having people in line when it comes to speakership. Nobody voted for a speaker. Your colleagues are the one that made you speaker. I will never, ever regard Richard Kuhn. I will never accept the speakership of Richard Kuhn. All I am saying, the case that went to the Supreme Court, I will say again, was almost like undefined because there was a constitutional aspect and there was a political aspect. What people are asking the Supreme Court to do is to come up with a political decision. And when the Supreme Court come up with a political decision, it's a violation of the same constitution. That's all I'm saying. The one thing that I recognize, the one thing that remained a trend from all the entire or international community or our international partner, whether it was the Ghanaian speaker, whether it was the ECOWAS or crew members that came to Liberia to negotiate, whether it was from the U.S. embassy, they said they should go and settle their dispute because they understand the political aspect of it. You people that want the Supreme Court to come and tell Rachel Kuhn, you are out, and Fonati Kofa, you are being reinstated, it's a violation, and they will never do it. That's my thing. But in terms of recognition, I will always give Fonati Kofa the legitimacy until he is removed constitutionally. That's what the law says. But when it comes to Rachel Kuhn, yes, I know he get the numbers, he can call for a quorum, he can run the day-to-day activity. People will say it's a violation, but if you got 103 individuals that cannot find a simple solution from a dispute emanating from within their body, then my brother, who am I to say anything? That's my talking point here. I never changed my position from day one. Always been the same.
Yes, I get you now, Claire. You already make it. In fact, you make everything clear that indeed all of the impasse and everything that is ongoing is indeed illegal. So it's just clear. Indeed, I agree with you. So let me see quickly. Sheikh.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so go ahead. You want to talk? You want to talk a little bit about the impasse? The majority bloc calling for the Supreme Court to trash or to put out the bill of information been sent in by the embattled speaker Jeff Landikofa for the past 5 months. Just imagine, and that bill been there. 5 months. Hey, that's very interesting. Yeah, go ahead, my brother. What say you?
That's similar question I posted today to the lawmaker of record. I mean, he was just like discussing it too, because he's the chairperson for the rule of law caucus at the level of the House of Representatives on Musa Assembly. I mean, he was saying that nothing else they're going to do out of the confines of the law, and the law going to remain the law. Because Mayu, whatever thing they have done, the majority bloc have done down there, it's been outside of the Constitution of Liberia. They have been violating the Constitution of Liberia from day one of that whole saga. So at this stage, for him, in fact, he let the public know that he's not going to go sit on that forum until the court can say this is what's supposed to happen and this is how it's supposed to go. Whatever the way the court said, I mean, the law has said it. So whatever thing they're doing there, for me, I think it is not in the confines of the law. Totally against.
But check. Follow-up question quickly to you, Sheikh. If you're saying that the lawmaker is saying that in fact he will be waiting for the Supreme Court to come up with a ruling, and the Chief Justice just make everything clear that in fact she even sent out apologies to Liberian people that indeed they are sorry for the way things are going. That means nothing in there that is fair enough. So, I'm confused. But yeah,
that's the whole thing now. That's the whole thing. That's giving a minority bloc the ground to stand on, and on the issue of the law is the law, because the whole thing, maybe the thing is clear. You see it for yourself. Unless people who want to trace the law around. And one thing about the law is the law. You can't turn it anyhow you turn it. One is not how it's supposed to be. It will never be that. So even giving the minority bloc ground to stand on, to say that the law is the law, and then waiting on the Supreme Court. So that's why he was saying that he's waiting on the Supreme Court as well. But for him, they are not going to do anything outside of the law, you know. So we wait until the court can speak on next week.
All right, we wait until the court can speak on next. I think next week will just be about argument. I think they will argue, and then the court will also reserve a ruling. That will end up to 2025.
You know, I was telling someone, I was just joking. Someone, I said this thing is going to be dragging, because I love business now. They're going to be dragging until if we Liberians are not mindful, if Liberians are not mindful. We're not going to get anything tangible from this government until maybe the end of 2029 or 2-3 years from now, because this saga is a long-term saga. I mean, because for what I'm saying, I'm sensing that the executive is on the other side, you know, throwing a rod, hiding their hands, you know, they're throwing a stone, hiding their hands. That's what I'm sensing, because if the executive was just out of the whole matter, you know, what the president is not doing business with the majority bloc, it will not give them the credence to do what they are actually doing, because if you are supposed to give them the money to operate, and if you say I'm not part of anything until you go through the due process of it, then the whole thing finished, and maybe then the whole thing finished. I was saying, but the executive, they are there showing it right, they had in their hands.
So follow-up question, and the same question will go also to Monk or maybe Muna, because you are you talking about the executive. So let's just take this into consideration. Is the executive one way or the other? Maybe someone will say put it as their own legs into hot fire, or maybe they don't care because maybe they may not even have any political ambition, maybe so and so. That's why maybe they just want to. Someone will say do things any kind of way they want to. Can we say that, or that what you are sensing?
For me, what I'm not very sensing that, because what I'm sensing is the executive just want the Unity Party speaker. They just want the Unity Party speaker, and that is why more Liberians are sensing, because if not so, the president of this country couldn't have been embracing some of the activity of the majority bloc. The majority bloc have done so loud outside of the confines of our law, the constitution of this country, but it's heavily been backed by the executive. So for me, what I'm saying is like they just forcing it to want a majority bloc speaker or maybe a Unity Party speaker. Remember now, Jane Nambuku is the member of the Unity Party. From day one, Unity Party were pushing for the speakership. So some of the things Fonadi Kofa was doing, especially when it comes to the issue of transformation, transparency, accountability in the House, auditing the past, lawmakers, and the current one, auditing them, and some of those the informations were coming up, and then some of them were pushing for. You have Fonadi Kofa was saying that they're not going to do anything, beside the law. We do everything for them. So remember the issue of the yellow machine business. The yellow machine, the 300 pieces of buses, those news buses were Ghana that came. The yellow machine business. Those who are on the side of Fonadi Kofa were saying that they want to know where the buses are coming from. They want to know the yellow machine. What is the brain behind? Remember the president said is one of his friends who wanted to improve the rescue agenda to heal them. So he was saying that he wanted to know as to where the buses are coming from. If the 250 pieces of yellow machine, 85 pieces of yellow machine, by the way, how it's coming to the country, who bringing it. So all the kind of things that the Unity Party were pushing to, just show the Liberian people that what we say, in terms of transformation, we want to live by it, So
all right, Check. Thank you. Yes, Mona, quickly, you want to chip in quickly before Monk? Then we'll go straight to the line to interact with our people.
For me, actually, I will speak on that next week after the hearing of that bill information.
Wonderful. Monk, I think I was asking you and that of the other team the question. Do you sense anything like executive doing all of this thing because they don't care? They don't even want to maybe feature any candidate, because if you have maybe quote unquote, if you have any ambition maybe for 2029, you will be taking team with ease. But like they don't even care and they don't want to know. What say you?
The first thing you need to realize is when it comes to the whole culture of honor manning speakers, it always tell from the executive. On our former president, it happened to 2 speakers, right? The first thing I know, even if listening to Jason Sibo, the argument he made yesterday, that was in the paper that we talked about. This thing is all politics. It's all about putting people on committee. It's all about who shares. The exact word from Jason Sibo was about who's sharing the national cake. And when certain people are now at the table, they believe that nothing should happen. So I knew from day one, it was always about money. It was always about greed. It was always about power. It was always about control and influence. But the thing is, it's not about what you know. It's about what you can prove in the court of law. I know that it always comes from the executive, and the executive want a regime speaker. But the fact of the matter is, can you make the case legally in court that the executive is the one trying to undermine the speaker? Yes, you must suspect them, but it's not a case you can make, because the executive will say, you know what, the president can say separation of power. The same thing you're asking the Supreme Court to do, that's what I'm doing. I don't want to interfere in legislative matter. That's a losing argument right there for the president.
But more someone will say, but more someone will say quickly that indeed, because how come all of the police investigations are only one sided?
That's what I'm saying. We already know. But are you going to prove that in a court of law when it comes to the Constitution? Maybe on the one thing that I know, when those guys wanted to remove Fonanti cover, they understood the constitutional aspect and they understood the political aspect. That's why they never went for 39 to remove him, right? They went the other way around. Because if they wanted to go with the Constitution, they were going to look for the required number that is needed to remove the speaker. But for the fact that they used a simple majority to strip him of his power and use script, it was all politics. But anyway, my brother, I don't know. We are not lawyers here. We can speculate all we want, but at the end of the day, we'll see if the Supreme Court can play Harry Potter. I really want to see that precedent set in Liberia that the Supreme Court can settle a political matter. I really want to see it. Yeah.
I wonder for Sheikh to take pause. Sheikh, I don't know whether you have
yes, I can do that. I can take off, and the numbers are 0772566515, 0772566515, 887224214. Yeah, you can now call and have your say on the show. Yeah, so let me go to the line to take my very first caller this evening. Good evening. How you doing? Okay, hey Larry, let's hear you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You make your day. Let me substitute you with this person. Good evening. Good evening. Your name is Junior for what? This is Sktv. Grand Gila County, highest Grand Gila. Okay, go ahead.
Check 1 minute. 1 minute, please.
Yeah,
We don't have that's our time.
I think you make your case. You make your case. Let me go to the line to take another person. Thank you so much there from Grand Junior County. Good evening. Good evening. Your name is Junior from where?
I am from Ganta.
Let's hear you 1 minute, please, from Ganta.
I'll be very fast. During the Article 3 of the Constitution of the Provincial Power, but anybody temper with a constitution, the Supreme Court has the power to inform that group that hey, you are not going right according to the Constitution. You see, people suspended the contract for 3 months some time ago.
Okay, now let me substitute you with this person since you leave the line. Adjust yourself. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Fred and my I join you from Monserrato, Fender of the Beach.
Let's hear you from Fender, Monserrato County. 1 minute.
Okay, Chief. I want to commend the SKTV show tonight again. You see, one point in this country, if the lawmaker continues this, that God not be better for us from the 2025 to 2029. Because those things they are carrying on, it's very bad. We recognize from the offer to be a speaker. And could you imagine that Richard Nambekun went and program JFK? So if they continue this thing, nothing else will be done in Liberia. Meaning that the country will be going backward every day and night.
Okay, the country will be going.
Taking our resources, they're talking about that war. You see, after they just celebrated 20 years anniversary. What else they can show in Nimba?
Okay, you make a point. What else they can show in Nimba County as well, Meta? Good evening. Good evening.
This is from Sktv-Lib, Nimba, Liberia.
Sktv-Lib, student Blanda. Let's hear you quickly.
All right, thank you so much. As citizens of this country, we have those who are causing the impact of legislation. Some of them have been masterminding this situation. When such person comes to Nimba for us to elect him, we make mistake and have that person elected. We can see impact issue or at the House of Representatives and take it to the House of Senate. We be very careful. We couldn't vote for somebody who stands for confusion.
Okay, we shouldn't vote for somebody who stands for confusion.
All right, so check. Let me take calls from line one here in the national capital.
Okay,
line keep blinking. Hello,
yeah, go ahead.
Quickly. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Somebody might have kids pulling in for jumping to
1 minute, please.
Yeah, my attention is to this malicious and record leaders and folk who want to put themselves on the mind to be a senator. The problem he established at the Capitol building, they resolved that. I think it's there for him to resolve. It's not about doing all party was making to be senator. They're not going to be doing all party at the Capitol building. One of my concerns is actually going to this area about the Supreme Court cannot interpret constitutional matter or not relating to constitutional matter. What is the actual constitutional matter that the Supreme Court is supposed to interpret or explain to the Liberian people?
Well, thank you. But on tomorrow, I'm reading Article 2, and I want all of you to read Article 2 and see as to what there. Hello, today's caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, my dear, go ahead.
My name is Louis. I speak from Bushwa Island. I want to say thank to you and Monk. But I'd like to disagree with you and Monk that on grounds that the reporter from Nimba, you have to wait. We can't say it changing. To say, oh, the dynamics they're changing, they're not going to travel. It is after the election. From the result, you will know whether they go travel or not. Secondly, I also like to disagree with Mr. Ability, to be honest. If Mr. Ability was vice president, he's anticipating to be on the ticket 2029. And a major election is in his county. And his party have endorsed another party. Will he sit and wait? The vice president, this is a test for him. He will definitely want Coca to win because they in collaboration with the Rudy Party, so he can make a case for Unity Party 2029. He will not sit quietly. His ability was vice president where he sit, and then a party, somebody running on the ticket, and say they live between the children, and he anticipating to be on the ticket for 2029. Joseph Boga will let Kun. This is a test case for Kun. If Unity Party and MDRD lost the election, Kun is in serious trouble.
All right, thank you so much. I think you come almost 1 minute 30 seconds. Uncle Brian Tate, good evening.
Nimba, thank you. And let me tell more, Lauren, I've been listening to you guys. The first thing I want to say is that, you know, with the statement from Representative Coca and other things against the women, all those kind of things, you should know that he coming in if he won the central election. It means he coming under the gavel of a woman. So I'm afraid that if he come to the Senate, he may create the same condition that he created in the House of Representatives, and then they influence other people so that they can move the protest because he don't want to sit under the gavel of the woman.
All right.
The second thing is that the suggestion I want made to the minority tribe in Nimba, let them use Nimba as a case study. Nimba has been the electoral vote in Liberia. So they can get together now to say there's a guilt and manner sentiment in the place. The crowd, the weed, the Madiko, the Tele, everybody like that. Let them get together and endorse one candidate. There will be a reinforcement at the electoral vote.
Thank you. Hello, quickly to this caller, your last caller. We gotta go. Hello.
Good evening. My name is Alice. I'm calling for Sofine. Okay. For the issue of the speakership, the majority block and the minority block, you know, it will materialize. Even the Supreme Court rule, the 26th of March, it will materialize because the Supreme Court does not have the authority to interfere in.
Who told you go to Article 2? Article 2 is telling you that the Supreme Court has the power or jurisdiction to review or to declare inconsistent laws.
Yes, but other articles as you say they cannot interfere now.
Okay. But go ahead.
To say that they get other articles. I think it should be in Article 48 that they talk about the separation of power. They talk about the separation of power. So it will materialize. We know that the majority block, they are not in the real part, but the Supreme Court will talk at the end, the people will not accept the fanatic copper.
All right, even though the people they are not doing the right thing. I like that. That means they already breach the constitution. Hello to this caller, good evening. All right, quickly, your last caller just gave you the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you very much for your show. Once again, this is our Dennis Samuel. I got a discussion from Omega Market. Whereby I listen to your co-journalist by the name of Chief College from Sktv-Lib. Whereby they may continue to focus on the ability that
Hello. Cyprian, here, please. I beg you. Don't bring that your caller association here, please.
Yeah, because we listen to him for Sktv-Lib. He said that we should not interfere into the election.
When that happens again, Cyprian, yeah, my young man, don't bring things that
on the show. That's on the show today.
Sorry, my young, don't waste our time on things that already. Cyprian, yeah, you really accusing Cyprian. So yeah, we gotta go, people. Yeah, we always allow you to call, but some of you sometimes you can go off track. Yeah. So Oshek, let's start with you quickly. 1 minute or almost 30 seconds. We gotta go. No time.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe I just want to say thank you so much. For me, it's my first time on the show, but I think it was wonderful interaction, and we hope to do it more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shek. And I think indeed you are correct. We have to do it more and more. But Muna?
Yeah, let me say many thanks to the callers, the listeners, our supporters, followers across the globe for always being there for Sktv. Do join us tomorrow, same time, same station for the Sktv. Until then, Muna Lagri, I wish you guys a wonderful, wonderful night.
Mark, you just listening to all of the callers. We got to go. What say you? What's your own reactions?
Well, I think your uncle made a very salient case. I think of all the callers, his call was the one that got my attention. If the people want to play the tribal and the sentimental politics, and we know that Nimba County is a diverse county, it's about time that the other minority group come together and endorse a candidate. In the kind of a race, you cannot play neutrality. Neutrality is of no option in politics. Whenever you play neutral, it means you are strengthening somebody indirectly and weakening someone indirectly. So if they really want to make their voices heard, they can come together, the Crown, the Mandingos, I don't know whether they got Bassa in Nimba County. They can all put their forces together and endorse one candidate because you must be represented. That's why it's all about. And the second case he made was the fourth president command in the entire republic is a lady, the pro tem. So if this guy believes that women shouldn't be sitting at the table, how can you come from the house and go sit on the gavel of a woman? So that's an automatic disqualification. Look, let me tell you something. I only want one thing from the people of Nimba. I want for them to make the right choice. I want for them to put the whole tribal sentiment thing aside and let those people go and prove. Let we argue on merit. Let we argue on the past and let we argue in the future what you bring to the table. If Nimba County can change the trajectory in this particular special election, I will be more than optimistic about 2029. But everything comes down to this. And one of the brothers, I think it was Louis or someone that called, he made mention of the vice president staying out, and he's right. I don't think Jeremiah Kun will play neutral role. I don't think so because he knows that his name is on that ballot. People, it's almost like Thomas Fala in Georgia. They don't want to run against Thomas Fala, but people saw Georgia. It's the same thing. People see Jeremiah Kun behind Koga. They are not looking at Koga. They're looking at Jeremiah Kun. And if the worst case scenario happened for Unity Party, the vice president, MD Arrow, trust me, Jeremiah Kun is dead in the water. So for that reason, I believe he will not play any neutral role. He will take a side and then bear the consequences and see what happens in Nimba County. My only prayer for the people of Nimba County, for the first time, we want for you to make La Bureau proud. We want for you to look at the candidate based on the merit, what they are doing, what they did in the past, and participate. Because when the participation is huge, when you got more people participating, then it makes the race a toss-up. Because if fewer people will go over there to go cast the ballot, then trust me, the well-named and the establishment candidates will always be the one giving the advantage. And we don't want that. We want the underdogs to be the one to give us some surprises in this coming special election, Mabel. That's my prayer.
Indeed, my brother. Thank you. In fact, let me say thank you to all of you, Sheikh, Sherry, my dear good friend and brother. Also, in fact, you got to inbox me so that we can talk. Thank you so much, Sheikh and Muna. And quickly, let me say thanks to all of you, our viewers, especially those of you who may comment. You know, the free time, I don't know, Morgan, myself, we just take our mind from most of you comments, but trust me, or trust us.
Oh, no, I don't pay attention. I don't pay attention to comments anymore. I used to call for it. I've grown past that stage.
Yeah, because more you used to call my attention, but some of your comments there, the comments this and that, but not and then I know. But anyway, we will give little attention. But again, thanks to all of you. Mark, so the lawmakers, their role is to make law. So to our common people out there to your learn these things. The three branches of government, the lawmakers, their role are to make law.
Yeah.
Then the judiciary, their role is to interpret.
Interpret the law.
The executive, their role is to enforce. So tomorrow, one time, just for our common people out there to tell you some of these things, because you don't understand. Some of you don't even know exactly. Even some people that even they quote unquote that they are even educated, they don't even know. So go out there, read Article 1, read Article 2, read Article 3, up to all of your entire constitution. If you have it, that's the best thing to do so that you can be on top of your games or on top of your information and to know everything. So, Mark, thank you so much. And we see you again. That will be on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God. To our people of Nimba County, indeed, the monk keeps saying, for me, that's the best thing to do. Please, don't allow for people to be controlling you here and there. No. Have your own will. Have your own freedom. Have your own freedom. Yeah, they think they just do every time people just come and just control you people here and there. Yeah. So that's it. We move.
We'll discuss more on that tomorrow. We'll discuss more on that tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. So that's a good night.
Good night. Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah. Good night. Good night. Good night. So to all of you, yeah, my man. So that's the thing.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to serve. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The process of giving of care, the promise of death. The work with my life without care.
I live for health.
Master.
Why so make you? I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, tina get I say my jamo. And you no money, the more I get you. And you love me, the more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do boy ya to money, and I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do boy ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I don't get it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are red. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best to work with my life without fear. From Grandpa to Nimba to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat to San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.